Hello and welcome here in the Victam newsroom. My name is Gerrit Heikoop and I'm here trying to find out what's hot, what's new and what's important in the international feed industry and the global milling industry. And specifically on that topic, we're zooming in on this episode because I'm very proud and happy to be joined by Roger Gilbert, who is the owner and CEO of Perendale Publisher and is also the editor of the GRAPAS Milling conference that took place here yesterday. Welcome,
That's
Roger.
correct. Thank you very much.
Now let's see if we can kind of get the key message from that conference across. What were some of the hot topics that were discussed yesterday?
Well, of course, it all focused on technology and innovation. And the hot topics were around processing and storage. Storage of grain is absolutely vital to the way raw materials are handled and the finished quality of the product that comes out of feed mills and flour mills. So that's where we focused. And we, of course, had the GRAPAS Award, which was, we had 13 or 14 applicants, 9 of them made it to the final, and we were able to bring those 9 15-minute presentations to people here.
All right. I'm a bit surprised to hear that there's innovation in storage. Let's zoom in on that. Why is it important to keep innovating in that area?
Well, to give you a simple example,
Please.
Silos, which store up to 10,000 tons, have numerous thousands of bolt holes. And if you don't secure the bolt hole properly, you can have ingress of moisture. And this one company has developed a secure seal for every bolt hole on the silo, which will protect the grain immediately inside. That is a very small innovation, but absolutely essential to the quality,
right? Yeah.
vital to the quality of the raw material.
Interesting. Do you have more of these nice little examples of these innovations?
Well, one that came forward was sampling. We sample a lot in our industry, and having an automated sampling system where you can put in a kilo of sample and get 100 grams of a representative sample at the bottom of the process in 15 seconds, absolutely wonderful.
And that just made the life of quality control a lot easier.
A lot easier. But there are more sophisticated developments as well, where one company was able to reduce power consumption by a massive 95%. It's a very small demand on electricity, but reducing it by 95% is
significant.
Significant.
Yeah, interesting. So a lot of innovations in that area. What other, because you had 3 key topics, I understand,
yes,
right?
We had 3 awards. Well, we really wanted to have 1 award winner. But some of these developments are so unique and so specialized that we felt it appropriate to award 3 GRAPAS awards this year. One was for the Pisa mill, and this is the production of flour for the Indian subcontinent, primarily for their breads, which are totally different from us Europeans and the way we manufacture bread.
Yeah.
And that will save a lot of energy. It will replace a lot of equipment in the industry and inefficiency, and that was a real step forward for our sector. Another one was energy efficiency in actually manufacturing or drying feedstuffs and materials.
Yep.
And saving energy there and doing it economically is a challenge, and this company performed very well in that area. And finally, we have a very old company rejoining us, 140 years old, this company out of the UK. It has reinvented itself and developed us with a new roller mill for flour milling, which is fabulous.
Which, by the way, if you're watching this, check out the live show we did on day 2 of Victam Asia 2018, because there we had Peter Marriott, who is the winner of this last award that you mentioned. And if you're curious about some of the other innovations that Roger is referring to, they are also on the YouTube page of Victam International, because they were here in the newsroom. Now, Roger, the conference was yesterday.
Yes.
There's a new conference in the future, probably. But in the middle,
yes,
we also want to be updated. Where can we do that?
Well, of course, we have an app for our magazine. We're into technology and innovation in our magazine. We're a technology magazine for millers everywhere. It doesn't matter what you're milling, we cover it. And we have an app, Milling and Grain app, and we also have our magazine printed in 6 languages. We're not only in English anymore, we're in Chinese, we're in Spanish, we're in Arabic, we're in French and Turkish. So we're truly a global magazine serving the industry. We're not a trade magazine, we're an industry magazine.
And how often does the magazine appear?
It's every month.
Every month, monthly magazine, and a subscription will cost me?
Well, it's only $100, 100 euros.
Small investment compared to the value.
Exactly, but another point I'd like to make is that our magazine is 130 years old. It was first published in 1891 when milling, the milling we know today,
Yeah.
was first, roller mills were first invented.
Yeah.
So we have a long history of serving this sector.
Yeah, and yet now the speed of change is faster than ever and you're on top of the ball. What do you think will be some of the key themes of the coming year, of 2018, that you will be featuring?
Well, we are featuring heavily on how we go about feeding 9.5 billion people by 2050. And for 22 years, I was the Secretary General of the International Feed Industry Federation. So I know a little bit about the feed sector globally. And we have a challenge on our hands as millers to actually rise to the occasion and produce the food in a safe way that's affordable and still maintains those quality standards and is good for our environment. I mean, it's a huge thing that the industry has confronting it, but the magazine is up for the challenge.
Exactly. Well, it's quite a call to make the millers responsible for feeding the world, because as a miller I could say, hey, I'm merely the middleman, talk to the farmers because they need to produce it.
Well, this is the attitude we're trying to change.
Exactly.
Almost everything we consume outside of fruit and vegetables is milled, goes through some sort of milling process, and we have an obligation, a responsibility to make sure that people do not go to bed starving. And this is why we have set up a charity. It's called Milling for Life,
yes.
and we're trying to focus the industry's attention on developing countries where millers are struggling, so that we give them the technology and the equipment and the training, education to do a better job.
Yeah, a couple of months ago in Cologne we talked to the chairman of Milling for Life, Clifford Spencer. So if you're curious about that, check out that video on our YouTube channel. We're now almost a year down the road. What's happening? What's the status? Where can people contribute?
Well, we have a website called millingforlife.org. People can go on there and have a look at it. We were registered only a year ago. We have a very simplistic website. We're calling for projects.
Yes.
So if anybody out there has a worthwhile project, we would like to hear from them, and we can put it up as a project on our website and start gathering charitable funds to support it.
And how do I recognize a project? What does it need to be or do?
A project has to educate primarily or train. And we will support that. We will get industry support, and we will ask for contributions. Now that can be in-country training, or it can be bringing people to a developed or a training center in a developed country possibly. So that's what we intend to do.
Well, Roger, it's a very powerful message, both looking beyond your responsibility and take responsibility for feeding the world, making that very practical by supporting these Milling for Life projects. Now, if people are curious and want to know more online, they go for millingforlife.org or to?
Or to millingandgrain, one word, millingandgrain.com.
And there they can subscribe to the magazine.
They can subscribe to the magazine. We have been here 130 years. I intend for this magazine to be here for another 130 years and serving this industry.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. If you want to know more, you go to all the websites and make sure you check out the YouTube channel of Victam International. There you will find all these videos. Hit the subscribe button right now so you'll be the first to know when a new video comes out. And I'm looking forward, and I think Roger as well, to meet you in person at Victam International in 2019 in Cologne, or back here in Bangkok for Victam Asia 2020. Thank you for watching.